Oh man, what's going on, everybody? It's times like this where you want to just run away and hide, right? Crypto's crashing, stocks are crashing, so much uncertainty in the market, so many things happening, and there's a lot of noise out there. But remember, guys, this is not the end of the road, right? There's a bear market that happens. It happens all the time, right? But I wanted to get into why the market's crashing, why stocks are crashing, crypto. This isn't random by any means. It's in fact the perfect storm. It's the perfect recipe for a crash, correction, whatever you want to call it. But we've been warning our viewers here for a little while, and it all started when we dipped down below the 50-day estimated moving average on Bitcoin. I've been talking to you all and my private community in the back channels, some things we were looking at. There are a lot of short-term risks out there that you need to understand, but also at the same time, if we're looking at this for a long-term setup, this is creating a really, really nice bullish long-term setup. So we'll get into some of the metrics, the macro, ETF flows, kind of what's next, all of that for you guys in this live stream. We will run this thing up right up to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Then we will shift gears and we'll have our X space that we do daily, the Crypto Breakfast Club. We started that almost 2 years ago now. So we'll be live with you here on YouTube and on X for a little while. Then we'll roll it into a even lengthier conversation. So keep in mind, guys, I'm here for you in the good, the bad, the ugly, regardless of what's happening in the markets. I'm here for you every day. So if you haven't liked the video, shared the stream, definitely do so. We've been through this before, and I think it's part of my duty to be here and be a voice of reason. And you guys know, if you've been here long enough, like, I'm not a hype moon boy. I tell it like it is. It's, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And if it's terrible, it's terrible, right? And you can't really sugarcoat what's going on right now. And that's why we take a no BS approach with real information. And I'm here to show you that making money in crypto is not about gambling. Sure, we can take some gambles, right? If we can afford to do so. But making money in this market now it's not a retail hype driven market anymore, guys. It's not about gambling. It's more about strategy. It's about mindset. It's about staying consistent even when things get tough. And that's what I do here on this channel. I share with you guys practical tips, insights, and lessons from my own journey. And no, I don't have it all figured out. I don't have it all figured out. And you're not going to be right all the time. But the focus here, and it's always been this, is developing a winning attitude no matter what, a winning strategy no matter what. And so therefore, if you're a complete beginner or someone who's been around the block, we can share some insights that's relatable, down to earth, designed to help you stay ahead of this market. So let's continue to learn. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to make moves together. And again, appreciate you guys just for being here, because it is so important right now not to run away from this market. It's very easy to do. The easy thing is to opt out. That's the easy move right now, is to opt out and come back when things get better. But how you make money in this market is being super locked in during these downturns. And 100%, one of our listeners out there said, long game, buy the dip, holding off exchange, stay patient, utility wins. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Weekend thoughts, Josh, and what's going on, everybody? Share the stream, hit the like button, bring in your questions, bring in your comments. I want to dive deep into all of that with you guys. We will go ahead and take a look at some metrics, take a look at some information. I do have a lot to unpack for you. Did create a video already out on the channel early this morning. I was up early, had to get up and see where this market was. We have tumbled from 87,000 down to 83 at one point this morning. And The thing of it is that's just, basically really, really hurting us. And I have it up here. I mean, it's a host of things, right? It's a host of things, but it's really the perfect storm. The Fed is signaling slower rate cuts all of a sudden, right? Then we have inflation prints that came in hotter than expected. We've got bond yields up, liquidity is going down, and the ETF outflows, which we have been talking about for weeks on end, that's the big one. ETFs going down, seeing outflows. And we've been seeing it. Just 2 days ago, we had our biggest outflow of the Bitcoin ETF ever. And it's creating massive liquidation across the board. It's an over leveraged market, guys. I mean, markets have to correct, and we got into this point, and now Bitcoin's hitting its lowest it's been since April. We got into this point of just everybody was, trading on leverage, and we didn't have enough spot buyers. And here's the thing, when you bring in institutions, when you bring in the big players, they now push the buttons. They now move the market. They move the market up and they move the market down. That's just the facts. And let's not pretend that Bitcoin hasn't exploded since late 2022. It's up over 700% from the lows of 2022 to when it hit $126,000 in early October. So a correction was needed. And sometimes it's easier said than done when you take a step back after the market's been tumbling. But there have been signs of this for a while. And the October 10th event started everything. That started the cascade of liquidations. Now you've got basically globally, everybody's going risk off across every asset class. This isn't just a crypto thing. It started with Bitcoin and crypto, and now it's filtering into stocks as well. But keep in mind, guys, this is not the end of the road. It's not the end of the road for crypto. It's a macro flush. It's a reset. And maybe this is kind of what Ray Dalio had talked about, the great reset. We're going through these growing pains of, this new world with crypto and AI and robotics. And it's not an easy transfer. It's not an easy shift. But the strong survive in these environments. Those who can find a way to survive will thrive later. Most of retail will panic while the institutions accumulate. That's just how this thing usually plays out. And I want all of you and all of us to be the smart retail in the room and not panic and look at this for what it is and take advantage. One thing I'm not doing right now is I'm not going to low liquidity altcoins and stacking. There's no reason to do that, in my opinion. There's no reason to go ahead and find these assets that, some say are diamonds in the rough or whatever. Guys, just go to the high liquid assets that are way down right now. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Because there are a lot of assets on sale, right? There's no reason to go crazy here. But weekend thoughts, I mean, listen, usually weekends are not good anyway. And, I don't have a good feeling. I mean, we've lost all structural support. And again, this is all short term, right? But we've lost all structural support on the charts. So essentially there's no end in sight right now. Like we don't have a strong indication of, okay, 83K was the bottom or whatever, right? So with that being said, that's why I'm looking at just slowly DCAing, but also keeping cash on the sidelines to bulk buy if we get steeper declines. I do think Bitcoin could come down past 80K, below 80K, I should say. Keep in mind, Michael Saylor's average cost is 74,000. This is kind of interesting. If you go to dashboards here and then go to Bitcoin treasuries, it actually shows you MicroStrategy, what they hold, almost 650,000 Bitcoin here. And their average cost basis is 74,000. Meta Planet, I mean, this is crazy. They got 30,000 plus Bitcoin at an average cost of $108,000. Meta Planet. Coinbase's average cost sitting around 71,000. Tesla, they've got a nice stack. Their average cost of their 11,000 Bitcoin is $33,000. So Elon's doing it right over there. And some of these people, man, oh my gosh, Galaxy Digital average cost 119,000. But regardless, if you have a zoomed out time perspective, this will get better. This will get better in due time. But yeah, the lack of liquidity is everything. Good morning from Cleveland. What's going on, Mark? How you doing, man? Good morning, GM to everybody out there. Guys, share the space if you haven't already, or share the room rather. This isn't a space. We will be live on Spaces though, very, very soon, in about a half hour. But I broke it down yesterday. What's happening, why the market's crashing right now. And this is when Bitcoin was still at 87,000. But the ETF outflows have been huge. The macro looks terrible, and this is the short term setup that is perfectly aligned with being extremely bearish. I mean, everything is in line here. Like, we shouldn't be shocked, is what I'm saying. We should not be shocked. We know that bear markets happen; they always do. Now, in terms of how long this bear market could or will last, I mean, nobody has a crystal ball here, right? But if we go into the Bitcoin all-time chart, and let me go into the monthly here. And this is just a brutal monthly candle, by the way. Look at this. That's a brutal monthly candle. However, this was our bottom. I mean, look at what we've done. These are monthly candles. Look at what we've done. I mean, a correction was due here, right? We're at 84K right now. But in terms of, the drawdown, our last big drawdown from top to bottom was 77%. That was from peak 2021, $69,000 Bitcoin down to 15,400 on a wick down. Now, do I think we can get a drawdown that's that big? And by the way, this lasted about 1 year, right? Like, this is exactly 1 year. November 2021 to November 2022. 1 year. Literally. It was like exactly 1 year of a bear market. Typically, bear markets last about 12 months. However, I do think we have some interesting things set up right now for the current environment we're in. So yes, bear markets typically last a year, but no other market cycle had the institutions in. No other market cycle had regulation as a potential catalyst whenever that comes. I think it's going to be into early 2026 now. No other cycle had this setup, right? No other cycle had this setup. And so do I think this could be maybe like, a 5 to 6 month bear market? I think that's more than possible. And here's why. We've got midterm elections coming up in April. And I think a lot of this drawdown, a lot of this fear in the market, a lot of it is political as well. In addition to the things we've already outlined, like the Fed signaling slower rate cuts, inflation prints coming in hotter than expected, bond yields going up, meaning liquidity goes down, ETF outflows, the massive cascade of liquidations because of people being over leveraged. But I think the backdrop of all of this is politics. And once the dust settles, whatever that looks like, once we get into April, then I feel like we're going to have a lot more clarity for this market to at least know where we're going and what all this is, right? And some people are saying, like Mike, just 3 more weeks of this. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball here. When or what price do you think Bitcoin and XRP will bottom out and reverse up? Nobody has that answer, Poke, but I do think Bitcoin is just one of those assets you have to just slowly DCA into. Do I think we could come down, to 75K? I do. I think that would be interesting because it would retest our April lows. And if we broke that, we're going down to like 60 probably. I mean, if we think we're going to be in a year-long bear market, which again, I think I've just outlined why I think that could be wrong because we're in a different setup. But we've always had diminishing bear markets. It was like 88% 3 cycles ago. Then 2 cycles ago, it was like 82%. And then the most recent cycle was 77. So if we draw it down and let's say we come down 60% from the top, let's just play hypothetical, right? 60% from the top would put us right around $50,000 Bitcoin. That is potential. Like that could potentially happen. So I'm basically looking at this window from 83 all the way down to about 50,000 right now. I'm not going to, pretend like, the bottom will be 67,000. If anybody out there is saying that, do not listen to these people. They don't know. You've got to formulate your own plan. My strategy is to DCA on my way down. Now, I will say this. If we break 60,000, I become a big, big buyer of Bitcoin. And that's why I'm keeping cash stable coins on the sidelines for those bulk buys. But I'll continue to slowly DCA a little bit no matter what, because nobody's perfect. Nobody can time the bottom exactly. In terms of XRP, we could come down further than where we are right now, 100%. We could, the number I'm looking at on XRP is, I mean, obviously under $2 if you're long term, it looks pretty good. But the number I'm looking at, let me pull up a chart here. Keep in mind, we started this whole run way down here. So, I mean, we don't have a lot of support on the monthly chart at all here for XRP. We really don't. So there's honestly no telling. I mean, we could come all the way back down. I mean, depending on how bad Bitcoin gets, we could come back down to our 50-cent levels. And I'm just keeping it 100 with you, keeping it a buck here, guys. But I'll continue to monitor the situation. Under $2 looks pretty good, if you're thinking about it long term. But like this green candle that we had in November, I mean, like there's not a lot of support here because of how fast we went up. Now, if we look at the weekly, then we kind of get like a 167, 165 could be our next kind of line of defense. I mean, if we get down into the 140 level, I mean, anything under 150 would be a blessing. But I mean, listen, guys, it could come all the way back down to 50 cents. We don't have a lot of support here because again, this thing just rifled up in like a month. This is 1 month right here. These 4 candles. We went from 57 cents to, $3 in a month. So it's just the facts. I mean, what goes up that fast can come down that fast when things get really bearish. What's going on, Ephraim? Billy, if you feel that way, man, just go listen to somebody else. Or if you've got it all figured out, why are you here? Just trying to make sense of things, bro. I've been here for 5+ years and had some big wins. So, it is what it is, man. Sounds like you're just frustrated, but you've got to harness that aggression, man, and put it to good use. This is the time to do it. BTC will bottom around 65 to 70K, XRP under $1, around 75 cents. Interesting, James. Yeah, I mean, I could, listen, everybody's going to have prediction, but I think it's more about having a plan. Anybody can have a prediction, but have a plan. Because a plan is different, right? Now you're planning for all scenarios. Don't flap, let this pass. The weak will sell and the strong hold. Yeah, I mean, long term, we're okay. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, we've been through a bear market before, a brutal one. Here we are, still standing. We're not going anywhere. XRP always rips hard, but out of nowhere when then follows the market again. No, I agree, James. We don't have a lot of support on the XRP chart here. Not at all. I mean, this could free fall. I mean, a lot of it's just going to hinge on the overall outlook of Bitcoin. What's the crike? 100%, James. And I'm being honest, people might not like it, but yeah, I mean, I just said it. Zach, do you think the incoming ETF will help support XRP's price? So here's the thing, Joe. That is a long-term catalyst. It's not a catalyst that we're going to see take off. It took a long time. Bitcoin's ETF came out in January 2024 when it was $40,000, but it was a slow grind up to 126K, and that's Bitcoin. So the demand for Bitcoin's higher than anything else. The XRP ETFs are a great catalyst. They are not overnight success stories, though. It's not like XRP is going to move to $10,000. These people who are on these platforms telling you XRP to $1,000 or XRP to $300 tomorrow or by early 2020, like everything's switching. The fair value of XRP is blah. Guys, I don't agree with any of that. So if you're here for that kind of content, that ain't me. You ain't getting that here. You're getting real raw content. Good, bad, the ugly. Do I believe in XRP long term? Yes. Do I think XRP ETFs are great and there's 20 plus filed and it's going to be an amazing thing for us long term because it's going to legitimize the asset? 100%. But it's not going to send it to $1,000 overnight. Sorry. And I mean, listen, you can do whatever you want. You can listen to whoever you want. But if it were me, I would stop listening to the people who are feeding you everything you want to hear and, telling you you're going to become a millionaire overnight with XRP. Like, guys, this is a massive asset. You got to just understand the math. The math ain't mathin'. It's $116 billion market cap. This thing ain't going to make you a millionaire overnight. It's a long-term investment. Along with Bitcoin, ETH, any of these top assets. None of these things are going to explode overnight and create multimillionaires. These are long-term plays. Solana, Ethereum, and the smart contract space, these are long-term plays. XRP is in a league of its own in terms of what it provides and what it does. It's the creme de la creme, 100%. But we're not going to $1,000 overnight. I mean, this stuff that I see, and I'm not going to name names, but you guys know the people who are out there, and they all have massive accounts and massive followings, and they're preying off people who don't understand what's really happening here and the fact that can't happen. I mean, I see these price predictions, and I'm like, do you understand that if this were to happen, XRP would have to be like capturing the entire, wealth of the world? Like it's not going to happen overnight. As far as price movement, ICP will have a Solana run in the next couple of years. I'm ready. Interesting, Dustin. Why do you think that? Why do you think that? Why do you like ICP? What's up, buddy? Hello from India. What's your opinion on Charles' statement regarding 250K in 2026? And I love the bullishness. I mean, and I'm here for it, man. I mean, I can't tell you when Bitcoin's going to hit 250K, but I think it will happen. And that's why I'm continuing to have a Bitcoin strategy. And my Bitcoin strategy is different than everything else. It's a long-term play for me. Long term, decade plus. It takes months to see results from ETFs. Yeah, 100%. Months and years. So why did Kraken allow a flash wick up to 9? I don't know where you're reading that or seeing that. I mean, dude, you can't listen to this stuff, man. I'm just telling you, Mr. Just, like, do not let this stuff poison your mind. Do what you want to do, man, but I'm not going all in on any asset. You can't be naive. Guys, you have to understand this. Let me just lay this out for you, okay? And again, if you don't like this, if this ain't your cup of tea, you can leave. That's fine. I don't really care. But I'm not going to sit here and feed you a bunch of BS like these other people on YouTube. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be real. We just said when XRP was at 225, there's a really good chance we're breaking down below $2. Well, here we are. Because everything was pointing to that direction. Bitcoin was collapsing. It lost the 50-week moving average. Everybody in my Patreon knew exactly this. Once we lost the 50-week moving average, free fall on Bitcoin. Told everybody weeks ago, weeks and weeks and weeks ago. But people don't realize, okay, people want to say XRP to $91. Okay. Yeah. XRP to $91 means it has a market cap of $5.5 trillion alone. The overall market cap of crypto is $2.88 trillion, guys. So you're telling me overnight XRP is going to go to a $5.5 trillion market cap and basically dwarf everything? I mean, the entire market cap, Bitcoin is 1.6 trillion. For XRP to be $91, it has to be a $5.5 trillion asset. Guys, that's not happening. That's not happening overnight. Okay? That's delusional. Don't listen to these people. I'm just trying to save you from a lot of freaking lost time. Trust me. I mean, it's... And don't hear me wrong here. I don't think XRP's bad. I love XRP. When XRP was 50 cents and it went to $3, I took profits and won the trade. I did really well on it and kept a good stack of XRP for the long term. But that was the big trade, the 5x. Like, people think this thing's going to go up 46x overnight. This is a long-term play, guys. It's not about getting rich quick. I don't know how many people still need to hear this, but it baffles my mind, man, when I hear this shit. We will be going live on the Crypto Breakfast Club. This is our X space that we do daily. If you guys aren't aware, we come on here on X. So if you're not following me on X, there's a link down below in the description. If you're watching on X, you already know about what we do. But we will be live in about 17 minutes from now on our X space. We'll shut down this stream and then we'll go exclusively live with the X space. Hopefully all of you come on over and join us over there. That would be awesome. So make sure you're following me and the Crypto Breakfast Club account's in my personal profile. So we'd love to have you over there. We're trying to gain more and more people in that. And the great thing about that is you can come up and ask questions, be part of the conversation. This is a little different because it's just me and you guys are in the chat, but we don't get to have a real conversation. But, you got to just look at things for what they are, guys. You can't be delusional in this market. But the people who stick around during these tough times are going to win. They're going to win big. Let's see here. Yeah, this is how you know it's pretty brutal when all of the all of the stable coins are up here and they're the only ones slightly green. That's how you know you're in a very, very bearish market. The Kraken thing on XRP was a software glitch, bro. Yeah, I mean, I people look into this stuff and It baffles my mind how these people get the amount of following they do. I mean, quit drinking the Kool-Aid, guys. So ICP from a tech standpoint, it's top notch. Got a bad rep by FTX Pump. How many employees? Has many employees and is building, improving every day. Great thing is, you know who runs the show, not some secret Twitter boy. Interesting, Dustin. XRP is no different than XLM. Just a lot of people fall into hype and end up losing a lot. Yeah, I mean, they're great assets to own, I think, long term, James. You think an XRP will really replace? No, I do not. I do not think it'll replace Swift. Do I think it can capture some of the market share? Yeah, and I think that's a big deal. It doesn't have to replace it, nor will it. It just has to be a supplemental piece. But I think the real big play for XRP, the real big play is not necessarily cross-border payments. I think the real big play is tokenization. The fact that Ripple's already partnered with Ondo Finance, who's partnered with BlackRock, tokenizing US equities and treasuries, that's the real big play. Ripple's big partnership with Dubai and tokenizing real estate over there. To me, that's the bigger play for Ripple XRP. Cross-border payments is great. I think they'll get a small slice of that, right? Which will be great. But I think their real big play, and why I am personally super excited about them, is they're a huge RWA player. And I'm very bullish on the tokenization of real-world assets, and that being one of the next big frontiers in terms of where the institutional money is going to flow. Because here's the thing. We're in an institutional market now. It's not going to change. There's going to be retail that ebbs and flows in here. But I mean, just look at the last 3-4 years, guys. Retail has not come back like we thought they would from 2021. They haven't. It's been a lot of the same money recycled. It's been a lot of the same people cycling through. And it's been the institutions they've drove the price of Bitcoin higher. It's been a Bitcoin bull run. And there's been little pockets here and there that have moved, but at the end of the day, the institutions are here. They're not going to relinquish control. Like, we're living in their world now. So you've got to think way different than how you thought back in 2021. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that I see. People don't adapt. They don't adjust their way of thinking. They just think it's going to happen the same way as it did before. You've got to be constantly evolving, or else you're going to lose, especially in a fast-moving space like blockchain, AI, crypto, robotics, all of this. And it's all happening at once. But, these time periods where crypto is filled with hype and you get all the misinformation and all the recycled narratives, what I want to do with all of you is build a brand around clarity, build a brand around truth, transparent research, and long-term mindset, long-term investing, and now front-running the institutions. Like, we're the days of hopium and all of that. It's not that anymore. The real forces now, the ETFs, the institutions, the pension funds, the sovereign wealth funds, the real forces are now here to move prices. They're here to shape policy. They're here to determine the future of this industry. And the quicker you realize that and understand that, the better positioned you'll be to win. So I'm not here to sugarcoat, stuff, right? Or overhype things or chase clicks. I mean, listen, I could make a freaking XRP to $1,000 video every freaking day and become that guy. But for what? I mean, that's garbage. I'm going to tell you the truth when it's unpopular. The truth is the institutions are here and this market is completely different. And we got to, get in where we fit in, because we can't be cheerleaders for our favorite meme coins anymore. I'm also not a doomsdayer either. I'm just a realist. You have to understand the macro. You have to understand policy. You have to understand institutional flows and the way that this entire crypto market is evolving. So the focus, right now is what are the institutions actually doing behind the scenes? What's happening with ETF inflows, outflows? What narratives actually matter? What narratives don't? How are regulatory, changes are going to impact us as retail investors? Once we get the Clarity Act pushed through, we're going to have a lot more insight into which altcoins we could potentially front run when it comes to institutional money. But I'm trying to hedge those bets now. I'm looking at Ethereum, I'm looking at XRP, I'm looking at Solana, I'm looking at HBAR, anything that has ETFs filed, Litecoin. This is where I think you have a really good chance to do well long term. And you have to have the long term mindset, man. You have to. This is the only way you can sustain success over cycles, over periods of time. So, if anything, one of the reasons why I'm here is to protect you from false promises, all the misinformation, all the BS out there. And at the same time, we could still win big time. We could still win big time. But the game has changed. The game has completely changed. TKO said no more alt seasons. I think it's an interesting point. I don't think we're going to see alt seasons like we saw back in 2021 ever again. The altcoin market is too watered down. There's too much bullshit out there. Now, will there be some massive winners in the altcoin space? 100%. But I think you're going to have to really work hard to find out which ones those are and guess right. And again, I laid out the blueprint in terms of what I'm using. I'm looking at infrastructure plays. I'm looking at assets that have real partnerships, assets that have ETFs filed or even live, assets that are in the tokenization space, assets that are ISO compliant. It's back to the basics, guys, things that matter. So when I look at, outside of Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin is Bitcoin. That's the end game for me. That's the long-term investment. I own some Ethereum, a good amount. I own XRP. I own Solana. I don't own any Cardano right now. Could it be a winner? We'll see. But I did hedge my bets and get out of that right now. Zcash done phenomenal on this trade. Is this whole privacy thing real? I think it is. Zcash, Monero, and Dash. I'm looking at all three of those. Chainlink, infrastructure play. I know the price action has been garbage, but it's an infrastructure play. It's a good long-term investment, I think. Stellar, Litecoin, there's Monero, HBAR, AVAX. Like, just keep it simple, guys. SWE. These are starting to become a little bit more high risk as you come down here. BitTens or Tau. Look at this, down below $300 now. Near, where's Near? Near protocol. Oh, here it is, right here. Near, Aster. Like, this is a company actually making money. Ondo Finance. Algorand. These are the assets that I'm looking at to stack heavily because I'm trying to front run the institutions. I'm not trying to go, guess right with this altcoin that nobody's heard of. It's just not that world we're living in. Will there be retail cycles again? Will there be? Probably, yeah. And when those times come, you want to position yourself where you got some cash on the sidelines where you can go chase some horses and have fun and don't over leverage yourself, but maybe hit a couple big home runs. We did that in 2024. We did that during that whole meme coin run. Right. So I'm not saying like that stuff won't happen again. It's just going to be few and far between. And I mean, in terms of long-term investing, you got to position yourself to survive during these times of the market. And that's how you do that is investing in the real assets. I disagree completely with that, Chad. This is 100% impacting price action. We're seeing ETF outflows like crazy. Two days ago, we had the biggest ETF, Bitcoin ETF outflow day ever. I disagree with that completely. ETF inflow outflow is a huge, huge deal. When people see institutions taking profits, that creates a cascade effect. Just a heads up, guys. In 4 minutes, we'll be starting our X space. So we'll shut down the live stream. Come on over and join us on the X space. So that'll be starting up here real soon. Make sure you're following me on X. If you're not, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you follow me over here. There's a link down below. You can check it out. If you're interested in joining a great private community, we've got our Patreon. You could find that link down there as well. You could find it on my X profile. We'd love to have you over here. Full portfolio access, buy and sell alerts, private Discord, exclusive video content, tons of great stuff for you. And we just bought a couple stocks yesterday. I am actively buying some stocks right now with everything being down, and crypto. So we've got all of that stuff for you at the Patreon if you're interested in that. But excited to have the space today. Excited to get some other people's thoughts and opinions in terms of where they think this market's going. But right now, I mean, there's no bottom in sight. I mean, nobody can say clearly, definitively, like, oh, here comes the bottom. Like, right? It's just, it is what it is. I think the first kind of thing we're looking at is where we went back down in April. Down in this range, 75K, 80K first, maybe 80, 75, somewhere in this range. If we can show some consolidation for a couple months, either here or a little bit lower, that would give us a little bit more data. We need data right now. We don't have a lot of data on our side. All we have is a falling knife right now. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, if this is bothering you or shaking you out, like you're not prepared for this market, because we're going to see more of these dips along the way. I promise you that. It's going to happen. I pulled up this post the other day. I think this is a perfect example if I could find it. Should be able to find it here. Let me see. Might have went back too far here. Here it is right here. I love this post. Since 2017, Bitcoin has seen 10 or more declines of 25%, 6 declines of 50% or more, 3 declines of 75% or more, all since 2017. Every single decline of the current magnitude or more since Bitcoin's inception has been followed by new record highs. This right here. So it's always up and to the right when you zoom out. Disruption is not easy, but it pays when you can sound out the noise. This is a routine crypto bear market, which we believe is already closer to its end than its beginning. Volatility brings opportunity. This is Kobayashi letter 4 days ago. So there you go, right? I mean, that's it right there. That's all you need to know. We've been here before. We've recovered from here before. So, guys, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully you gleaned something. Come on over and check us out. We're starting the space right now. Let me fire it up. We're going to do it on the Crypto Breakfast Club, and then I'm going to join as co-host. But make sure you guys are following this main account right here on X. I'm going to go ahead and start the space right now. But everybody come on over and join us. We do have some big things to talk about. And I want to get everybody kind of on the same page and just have a great conversation, because that's how we learn. And I think it's really important to have these tough conversations during tough times and just, keep people in the right frame of mind, right, during these times. That's the key, is just stay positive. So we're going to do a little title here. All right, we've got it started. And it should be on the profile now. Let's see. Yep. Here it is. Crypto bleeding. Why and what's next, guys? If you guys can help us out, bookmark it, like it, retweet it, all of that stuff. That'd be great. Appreciate that. I'm going to post it out on my personal page too. So guys, come on over and join us. I want to get hundreds and hundreds of people on the space today. I know we can do it. I think it'll be an awesome space. We'll have some great people join us. All right, guys, come on over here, and I will put this link to it right here in the comments. There it is. That's the Crypto Breakfast Club status. So guys, come on over and join us. All right, let's get it. Appreciate you guys for being here on the live stream.